I never left. You know, the difference with Tuesday, it was very formal. We had these two teleprompters. They call them the wings. And I don't know about you, but whenever there's a script, Attorney General, my great friend Doug Downey, it's great to have you here. Whenever we have a teleprompter, you can't really deviate unless you're the premier. So, and the first thing he does is he starts his speech, and then he says, you know, he'll really tell people what's in his heart. I have to tell you, it's an honor of a lifetime to learn from our premier and to serve with our premier, to be part of an incredible group of talented colleagues. You know, Doug Downey and I shoot videos together. We've done speaking engagements together. And along the way, he's become just a tremendous friend and a mentor to me, and I want to acknowledge his amazing leadership as our great Attorney General. And to the mayors and to our great chief here, you know, I could have gotten in trouble with the chief after August 30th, which was, I think, my first March past 2022. I came up here, sadly, after Travis Gillespie lost his life. And I came up the next day, and this is how unbelievably embracing the brothers and sisters of the association were to me. And I want to acknowledge Rob and the leadership here, and Mike. So I came up here the day after the sad news about Travis. And as the circle of life goes, I'm walking into the building and to meet the chief for my first time. No, it wasn't my first time. I think I saw you at the graduation. And the cadets of the graduation of the first cohort that I marched past were standing on the steps. I went up to them and I said, I'd like to be in your picture. And I was there with our great Deputy Solicitor General, Mario Di Tommaso. And the picture that was presented to me, thank you, Jim, that picture sits in my office. I'll never forget, this is the circle of life, the freshness of these amazing cadets and how we live life as it is. And we're all heroes. You are all heroes. Everyone here tonight is a hero. It's not only the sworn officers, it's the court officers and the station duty officers, the parking officers, the 911 call operators, the support staff. And I want to give a shout out to the mechanics, because when I went to Kingston's here today. Kingston's there. So you know what I did there. I always like, when I go to a police station, I said, take me to the garage. And sometimes you're lucky enough to meet a person like Al, who's your mechanic for 30 years in Kingston, to keep those vehicles and the Kingston Police Service safe. And I want to give a shout out to Al, so please tell him I said hi. He's a member. Well, listen, every hero needs a journey. We're all on a journey, and we have serious problems to solve. Premier spoke about it on Tuesday. And we need serious people to solve them. We need leaders who will say publicly that no matter what, no matter on your hardest day, no matter on a day that you can't even believe you got through, you have somebody that will always have your backs. And that is something that is absolute and constant with our Premier and our Attorney General and myself and our government. And for those people, because there's people out there that don't wish us well, we know that. That's why our streets are not as safe as they used to be. And for those people who don't wish us well and who don't want to solve and help us solve the problems and keep our community safe, they'll make you afraid of it, and they'll tell you who to blame for it. And that's why you can always count on us, because with our unflinching determination, we won't cave in. We will work for public safety each and every day. For me, it's about your tenacity and how principled you are to help your fellow members of the associations. I want to acknowledge David, the OPPA, and our thoughts are with your association this week, and as we were, and we laid Eric to rest a couple of weeks ago. Because the reason we're here is to make a difference in somebody else's life. And that's why I believe we can't stop. Because all for our entire existence as a province, the frightened and faint-hearted told us and they warned us, you're going in the wrong direction. And we see it today. Believe it or not, as crazy as it is, there's people out there who want to talk the narrative of defunding the police and saying we don't need it. We don't need public safety. I don't know why they're not seeing what's happening south of the border in so many communities where it's a sea of lawlessness. It's a sea of tragedy. The communities that families called home, they can't even live there. So for these people who told us, stop pushing for community safety, I say they're dead wrong. And I don't believe we can stop, and you know from our government we won't stop. We're here, thank you. And the reason we're not going to stop is simple. Because we believe when you have a safe community, you have absolutely everything. You have a place to raise your families. You have a place to work. You have a place to take your children to school. You have a place to shop, and you have a place to pray. Safe communities define who we are as a province. And thank goodness for the recent announcements. And, Mark was there every step of the way, Mark. I have to tell you, Mark, it was always good to listen to you speak, usually in front of me, so I could learn how you're using the teleprompter. Mark did it great, by the way. But he knows Mark is a leader of this association that is really unbelievable. I can tell you, and it's true, and I told the story on Tuesday, that on June 24th, I had the honor of a lifetime of being sworn in as Solicitor General. Not 30 seconds after the ceremony ended, Mark tapped me on the shoulder. I had no idea anything about the association and who Mark is and on the people on the board. And Mark invited me the following Monday, and I told the story on Tuesday, come to the golf tournament. And I said, okay, but that's my first day of work. I'm going to need like a note. And Creed Atkinson, that many of you know, who is now my chief of staff, says, it's okay, Minister, the Premier will be there. So that morning, I got dressed. On my last job, I didn't have to wear a shirt and tie. And by the way, I just want to acknowledge something. Whoever said the Solicitor General has to only wear navy, could somebody, get me a pass? I even dressed in a lighter colored jacket this morning, and the offices take that off, and you can't wear that. So, so I have to tell you that this is a true story. So I get picked up. I was so excited for work. I got up probably 3 a.m. on my first day of work, which was the day of your golf tournament. I didn't eat anything. I didn't drink anything. I didn't say goodbye to my wife because it was so early. I go down to the office. I see my office effectively for my first time. And the next minute I know I'm in a car with Creed heading out to it was in Brampton, Mark. It was in Brampton. And I have to tell you, we drove out there, and I said, Creed, I'm feeling really lightheaded. I don't think I'm going to make it. And it's my first event. And then when he found out I hadn't had anything to eat or drink, and I was incredibly excited. And then the Premier walks in, and, he worked the room, and I got to meet you and your colleagues. And then the Premier says to me, well, Michael, they're going to give you these speeches, but I don't even like reading these speeches. I like to just speak. So I couldn't do it that day. That was my first day. But I'll just tell you again, the optimism that I feel for public safety has not waned. It's increased every day because of you. I want to acknowledge the brotherhood and sisterhood here, which through the hardest times of my journey, especially from September 12th, just up until this week, you're rock solid, and you've allowed me into your lives and into your police services, and we've shared some incredible moments along the way, and I've committed that I will continue on my frenetic pace to visit as many of you all across our province as I absolutely can. So just as we talked about every hero needs a journey, I'll conclude by saying, may our journey in pursuit of keeping our province safe, in pursuit of never forgetting those we lost, in pursuit of always respecting a profession that you love and that I love, in pursuit of the brotherhood and sisterhood that's ironclad, that will be there in the best of your days and in the toughest days you have. May this journey be swift. Thank you.
Thanks, Minister. Thanks for being here.